Hello students, let us see the lasers one by one. Solid state lasers where the active medium is in solid form. Examples, solid laser, ND-YAG laser and semiconductor laser also come under solid state form only. And then gas lasers, example helium neon laser, carbon dioxide laser, etc. Even argon gas laser. Liquid lasers, European chelate laser, and dye lasers, rhodamine 6G laser or cormarine dye laser. And finally, semiconductor lasers, examples are indium phosphate, gallium arsenide. And we'll see in detail about the ruby laser in this video. And the coming videos about the ND-YAG laser, helium neon laser, and a semiconductor laser. Let's move into the ruby laser. As we already know about the metastable state, population inversion condition, pumping mechanism, which is suitable for the material, etc. in the previous videos. Now let us go into this ruby laser directly. So this ruby is a crystal which is obtained naturally, and this crystal is fine polished and it is made into a cylindrical form. This ruby rod contains aluminum oxide with 0.05% of chromium oxide. So the active medium will say as Al2O3 plus 0.05% of Cr2O3. In this, our chromium ions will excite to the higher energy levels and gives the laser transition. So the active element in this ruby crystal is Cr plus 3 ions, which gives the laser light. Other ions won't give the laser light. And here the pumping mechanism that we are saying as energy source or the pumping mechanism. So the pumping mechanism is optical pumping, which is xenon flash light. So the pumping mechanism is optical pumping. And resonating cavity, here the ruby rod itself is silvered at the ends. Instead of using the mirrors, the ruby rod itself, it is silvered on either ends. The ends are silvered. So let us see its working. So the ruby rod is made into a cylindrical form. It is fine polished and on either sides it is coated with silver. One side as partially silvered and one side is completely silver. And this ruby rod is placed in a cylinder, and in that cylinder there is a xenon flash lamp. That lamp is wound on this cylinder. So the light will be falling on this cylinder from this flash lamp, and as the light falls on this rod, the ions will be getting excited to the higher energy levels. And this xenon flash lamp is given to a power supply. When we switch on this power, the light will be coming from this flash lamp. And a cooling agent is placed. So as this rod will get heated up, so to control its temperature, a cooling medium is used like water. And let's see the energy level system. So Cr plus 3 ions and absorbing the energy from xenon lamp, it absorbs two types of wavelengths. One, the 4200 angstroms, which is in blue color, and the other green color, 5600 angstroms. So it excites to the two different energy levels. From there, it comes down to the energy level E2, which is a metastable state. And from this E2, the atom will come down to the ground energy level E1. First, the spontaneously and then stimulated transition will take place. So the emitted wavelength is 6943 angstroms, and this in nanometers as 694.3 nanometers, which is in red color. I will draw the energy level diagram and I'll show you. So this is E1, which is the ground state where there are more number of atoms. Remember here, chromium ions will excite to the higher energy levels. And E2 is our metastable state, and then our atoms will be moving to two higher energy levels. One, the higher energy that is having shorter wavelength, which is blue color, it is 4200 angstroms. So the atoms will be moving from E1 to E4. And then next one is the green color, which is having longer wavelength than blue color. So it is 5600 angstroms. So the chromium ions will be moving from E1 to E3 and E4 by absorbing the energy from xenon lamp. And from E4 to E2, the atoms will be moving non-radiatively. So the chromium ions will be coming from E4 to E2 and also E3 to E2 without emitting any radiation. As E2 is metastable state, so the atoms will be staying here for some longer time. And once the population inversion is achieved, the atoms will be coming down to the E1 stimulatedly, releasing the laser radiation, which is in red color, having wavelength 6943 angstroms. Though here it is looking like 4 energy levels, it is a 3-level system only. Why? Because whatever the number of energy levels it is going, the upper energy levels, here the chromium ions are going to 2 higher energy levels, but the energy transition is going like the excited energy and then the metastable state and the ground level. So 3 energy levels are used. So it is a 3-level system. And once the atoms reached E1, again these atoms will be excited to higher energy levels and then the population inversion is achieved and then laser transition will occur between E2 and E1. Here, until the population inversion is achieved between E2 and E1, laser light won't come. As the ground level itself is involved in the laser transition, the output cannot be continuous because the laser output will come only there is population inversion between the 2 energy levels. So the output is always a pulsed output in this ruby laser. So once again, let us recap this ruby rod. So in this ruby laser, the active medium is ruby rod and the active element is chromium ions. The pumping mechanism is xenon flash lamp, which is an optical pumping. And here the energy levels used are 3 energy levels. So it is a 3-level system. And the output of this ruby crystal is red color, which is having wavelength 6943 angstroms. The output is pulsed output. Here for resonating cavity or the optical cavity, we'll use the fine polished surfaces of the ruby rod and then silvered. One side partially silvered and one side completely silvered. So this is about the ruby crystal and we'll come with the helium neon laser in the next video.